Blog Talk Radio.
Good afternoon, morning, evening, whatever the case may be. Welcome to Justice for Us. I'd like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in tonight. Tonight we're going to be talking about a lot of different subjects. One of them will be FamLink. That's a new thing that some of the people might be interested in. We were told about that last week. FamLink has to do with a system whereby any time that you have been accused, just a mere allegation, you will go into a database and they will share information from state to state. And therefore, if you ever have another child, they'll be right there on the spot to take your children. So that's an interesting thing that we're going to talk about this evening. We're going to talk about the elections, and we're going to talk about foreclosures, and we want to hear what you have to say about some of the things that are coming down. As it stands right now, I have been told by many different people, I don't know if it's true or not, but I have been told that there is going to be an announcement that's going to come out on the 3rd, and that announcement might be something that's devastating to the country. We do understand President Obama will be leaving on the 4th. He's going to India. He's taking 800 people. It's been said that something drastic is supposed to hit the nation between the 4th and the 9th. So it has been said that perhaps everyone needs to buy their food, their water, and just get prepared. It was also said by a minister who was talking about where Napolitano, whatever her name is, the lady who's over Homeland Security, she met with some ministers down there in Arizona, and she told them to prepare at least 6 months that something was coming down. Now, I don't know if it's true because I was not there. However, it's better to be safe than sorry. I've been told that the dollar was supposed to come down to 50 cents. The bankers, world bankers are supposed to make an announcement on the 3rd, but we'll have to wait and see. But in the meantime, I think it might be wise if we all prepare and pull ourselves together in the event that some of these things are going to be coming down the pike. We'll also be talking about the foreclosure. So we'll be talking about an array of things. So I think for each and every one of you that are listening, there's going to be something in this topic this evening that will be of interest to each and every one of us. But right now, what I'm going to do, since I have the person who's going to kind of explain FamLink, I'm going to let her speak, and then after that, we will get on to some of the things that we're hearing that's coming down the pike. And we'll talk about some of these elections that are coming down the pike. And again, I'd like to thank you guys for coming in and sit back and relax, and I hope that you find our show most informative. Thank you again. And right now we're going to take 760, because I know she has something that she wants to say. 760-317. Is this Miss Patience?
Yes, it is, Dr. Shirley. How are you this evening?
I am so fine, and after you came on the show last week, a guy who's a very good writer, and he does a wonderful job. He was asking me more about the FamLink, but I wasn't that familiar. But what he did, he took it upon himself, and he did a little bit of the investigation, so he was able to come up with a little bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you the floor for a few minutes so you can kind of explain this FamLink to people. But before you go into it, I do want to say this. It has been said, I had been hearing this over 10 years ago, and it seems to be coming to pass, that all of the DNVs from state to state, they're tying into one another. So that seems to be where everything is going to be tied within the DNV, where they'll be able to track everybody. That seems to be sort of like the linchpin to keep their eyes on everybody. But anyway, without any further delay, I'm going to let you go on and tell us about FamLink. And again, congratulations on your new baby. You got the floor. Go ahead, Patience.
Well, thank you, Dr. Shirley. I appreciate that. Anything I can do, any information I can provide. Presently, I am kind of backwoods. I'm not going to say where I'm at, but I am sort of hiding out myself because I just gave birth. And he's a beautiful baby boy. And I'm stocking up on everything myself. FamLink is basically, since you're asking, it's like a registry for anyone who has ever had any contact with social services. It's more than Caci. Caci is the Child Abuse Central Index. And that is a federal registry that anyone, whether you were accused, found guilty or innocent, or your parents were accused, you would go down because the victims and the accused go down here in the Caci as well, but FamLink is more in-depth, so to speak. It is basically a registry for any family name that has been tied in with social services in any way, shape, or form, whether that person was a foster child, whether they were adopted, anything. It's far more in detail. And when you have a baby, what they are hoping to do is have this system up and running, and before a child is discharged from the hospital, they run that child's name, description, the family's name and description through the computer, and if there's any kind of hold or social worker history or anything like that with social services, what they're going to do is they're going to call a social worker in to decide whether or not you get to take your child home. Are you there? Hello? I'm going to call right back. I can't hear anything.
I'm sorry, patient. Let me go there.
Millions of Americans who really haven't talked
I thought there was something wrong.
Patient, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I got cut off. Go ahead.
Barack Obama.
Okay, how far did we get? Did we get to what FamLink was?
Yeah, just start over again, please.
Nonetheless,
okay, FamLink is essentially a network from state to state within the United States that when you have a child, if it is up and running and you and your family have any history with the Department of Children and Family Services, whether you were a foster child or any of your other children were foster children, or if you've ever even been accused, you will be on this registry. And unlike your criminal record that would be shielded from certain police officers if you were a minor and made mistakes, FamLink doesn't have any kind of blocks or anything like that. If you were a sexually aggressive teenager or if you were a sexually active teenager and somehow or another it got on somebody's notebook and somehow placed on your social services record, anything, if you were aggressive, if you knew karate, if you have a high IQ, anything, it will pop up on your FamLink file, FamLink. And there's no limit.
Okay, so it's sort of like maybe a dossier, but it's going to be used on everybody, but they're calling it FamLink. So anything, sort of like in Caci, they can place you on this list without even having a court trial, never having even being charged with anything. We're having an attorney down here in Orange County right now. He had adopted a child, and something happened. The child ran away. Social services got involved, but everything was cleared up. And he's an assistant district attorney, and he found out his name was on the Caci list. So you can be on these lists without even knowing that you're on there. Is that correct?
Well, yes, but see, the Caci isn't anywhere near as in detail as the FamLink is. And the FamLink goes from state to state to state. And right now, presently, you can go online. If you Google FamLink, you can find the link. I'm keep in mind, guys, I'm backwoods and I got a newborn baby, and I don't want to leave in the middle of flu season to get to the Internet out here. I'm sorry, but I'm working on my research on this FamLink thing. For my phone, what I can get is that basically every piece of, I'm telling you, everything about yourself, everything, what you like to eat, what your IQ was when you were tested in foster care, your blood type, everything, what you are likely to do if a social worker walks in there. And then if you give birth in a hospital, and presently if there's suspicion that you use drugs or if there's any kind of an issue, that right now they're already running people in many, many states. Some states, like I said, if you look it up, you're going to find a map, like I did. Some states are not up and running, one of which that is not up and running at all is Kansas. Other states are linked into every other state that's linked up to the other states, and other states are only statewide, and some are, just in progress working on their own